What is up, interweb? We're back. Episode 38 of the Chords V Plugs podcast. Welcome to Cuomosexual.
Hashtag that shit. Quite a day for the Cuomos.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be even better day for him later on, like you were saying. I think CNN might be must-see TV tonight.
I'll definitely be watching Cuomo's hour segment at work. Definitely, I'll be tuned into that shit. Got to get that spin.
What's up? Sharon's already here. Welcome, Sharon. Thanks for coming.
But
How's everybody doing?
Yeah. Let's get the hey, how you doings out of the way before we jump into Cuomo.
Right. I'm Blizz81. This is Big Red 773.
And if you're listening to this podcast, you are the resistance. Peaceful resistance.
We're bringing it back.
Just gotta make sure that we emphasize on peaceful resistance for all the blue-pilled lawyers out there and the alphabet boys.
Exactly.
But this we'll get into Cuomo a little bit more later after we run through some of the news. But this whole situation sort of has me rethinking the timeline, the upcoming timeline of events and how things are going to go, because the FBI or the Department of Justice said that they were not going to investigate the nursing home deaths, the hashtag Cuomocide that we've covered way earlier. So, seeing that, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy, he's in like sin, and, nothing's going to touch this guy. And I was sort of taking that into my thoughts with what's going to happen with Fauci. Like, okay, if nothing's happening with Cuomo right now, Fauci's definitely not going to be touched. So it's interesting that they're hitting him with this, and is it just to sweep the bodies under the rug, or does this give us hope that Fauci is going to be torn down off his pedestal as well?
I still think it's coming for Fauci. I still do.
I mean, it should. There's more than enough to do it, but shall it? There's a certain family that everybody knows Blizza loves, the Clintons, that
love them.
There's plenty. There's absolutely plenty, but not a whole lot of action. Just like that we were talking about that as well, pre-show, that Larry Nasser that doctor. A whole lot of stuff is allowed to go on under people's noses while the FBI is locking up Bitcoin miners, and now grandmothers visiting Washington, D.C. on 1/6.
Right.
Talk about two different justice systems.
Sure seems that way.
But yeah, we're everything. I don't know. It just seems like we're living in a rerun right now with this Delta variant stuff. It seems like I've seen this episode before. If anybody's feeling a little bit lost, I'll draw a map for you, let you know you are here. You're at the part where we repeat last year's experiment and confirm last year's results, such as the COVID particles are too small to be blocked by your mask. Therefore, masks do not work. If you want to go ahead and wear 6 and suffocate yourself or get the Buzz Lightyear helmet, go ahead. That's on you. More power to you. Lockdowns. Lockdowns do way more harm than good in so many different fucking areas. We did this already. We've already been here recently. This isn't like something that our grandparents figured out. Like we were just here a couple fucking months ago, and
yeah, you don't got to go too far back to find it.
Gearing up to do this shit all over again.
Yeah, sure seems like it's coming down the pipe, don't it? I've kind of gotten into a couple discussions on Twitch lately about the lockdown coming back, and me being of the impression that I think it is coming.
It's coming. It's definitely coming. Blue states are locking down.
Or it never stopped.
It's a lock. But of course, like, it'll be spun. It'll be spun. It'll be the fault of the unvaccinated. The large proportion of that being people of color. Was another thing that low information our low information voters don't seem to understand is Donald Jr. was trending over the weekend because he suggested ironically that people should have to present their vaccination card in order to vote. And the left, the low information left, of course, ran wild with it, thinking that it was a great idea, showing their idiocy, not only because, in their hypocrisy, because how is the vaccination card not as racist as showing an ID card, but not realizing that. And I realize that that unvaccinated doesn't mean what the majority of people think it means, because the vast majority of the unvaccinated are people of color. So if you are going to, ban the unvaccinated people, the election outcome is going to be vastly different. It's going to be quite the opposite of this last election.
Right? I mean, isn't that the argument that systemic racism is anything that shows a disproportionate effect on people of color? Isn't that the accepted version of the truth these days?
I mean, New York went ahead and banned 60% of black people from their bars and restaurants today. So I don't know. I think everybody might be confused on words these days.
Yeah, I wonder how long it takes until people realize that that's what just happened. 60% of people of color are not allowed in places of business in New York now.
Unvaccinated does not mean what the majority of them think it means. But at the same time, how could you expect any less from some of these people? They I guess have it in their minds that somewhere these people got it in their heads that that their corporate masters truly care about them, that suddenly they're on our side now, and it must feel so comforting to be coddled by these rich and powerful people. You're in the in crowd,
right?
But
I've seen videos of the anti-fascist but anti-corporate. They should be, right? You'd think Antifa would stand for anti-corporatism, but they're out there getting into fights with people because they're not wearing masks. People that are disobeying the government, they're fighting them now.
They are the resistance. Yeah. The rage for the machine was almost going to be one of our thumbnails. Fuck yeah. Yes, I'll do what you tell me. I mean, if all of these, if the new resistance, I don't know, the clown resistance, I don't know, I have to come up with a name for them, because we got that shit taglined. We're keeping it. But if they think that Big Pharma or anyone in this government, for that matter, is in business of developing cures for ailments or whatever it is, I have a treatment to sell you. Email me for details.
Right? I'm going to start writing books about how to make money in your spare time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
And it'll just be a book that has your email address. All right, what do you think? You want to get into the news?
Yeah, well, pick up where we left off at the last episode and just let the timeline take us into Mr. Cuomo.
It shouldn't be long.
So I mean, just because this was so good, I definitely had to. So we ended our episode. It was like one of the last things we talked about because I noticed it right as we were finishing up. But I called it 3 days before the 100th anniversary of the Americans with Disability Act that attacking HIPAA was a ploy to steal more of our rights. I mean, it's not that hard to see or figure out. But I said that Americans with Disabilities Act is on notice. And 3 days later, on the 100th birthday, Biden says that COVID symptoms are a disability. And I think that, this shit is too important to just sweep by.
Yeah, we definitely called that when it was happening.
Like it's one thing, if you think, whatever this unvaccinated consequences are going to be, if you can justify that shit in your mind, whatever. But how could anybody, support this, let alone allow, a general ass thing like COVID symptoms, which is, could be the flu, could be anything, could be cold
Could be
symptoms,
a
a runny
temperature.
nose. Yeah. Exactly. And it's just the implications for these people that actually need these protections and these rights, these accommodations. It's pitiful. It's absolutely fucking pitiful.
Yeah, not just that. I was thinking about it being like the first step to, again, like you said, attack HIPAA, to, the gun stuff that's coming down the pipe. Got to get rid of these HIPAA laws so that the government could access people's histories whenever they need to,
Absolutely.
I'm going to throw up the Discord link in both of our chats if anybody wants to join the Discord.
Protecting the vulnerable has always been the big lie. Just look at, the nursing homes in New York.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with protecting the vulnerable.
This vaccine that, was supposed to be made to protect the most vulnerable. The most vulnerable can't even take it. The immunocompromised people cannot take this vaccine. Like, none of it makes sense. The vaccine that should have been made should have been for the at-risk people, not general population, not, retrofitting these spike proteins to be taken in by fucking children.
Yeah. And it seems like after the first vaccine, which makes you, the first dose of the vaccine, which is actually where the spike protein creation gets started, before, if you catch the virus before your second dose, it seems like, from everything that I've read of the data, and of course I'm no chemical biologist, or I'm only a scientist on Twitch.
Climate scientist.
Yeah, climate scientist on Twitch. Yeah. But it seems like it makes it a lot worse. Turbo.
Welcome, Turbo.
What up? Afternoon, Turbo. Good to see you, bud.
So meanwhile, New York is banning 60% of people of color from bars and restaurants. They tried to implement this in the land of baguettes, and lo and behold, man, the days of surrender just might be over.
Right? Hey, Miss Melly, thanks for stopping through.
Seems like America is rubbed off on the rest of the world, and it seems like we might not have too much left over here.
Yeah, they seem to not like Macron too much right now over there in France, huh?
Man, that looks like an insurrection.
Yeah, that definitely is a government building, unless, I mean, why else would there be a picture of Macron on the wall, right? Seems
pretty.
like we're closer than ever before in our lifetime to seeing another revolution in France, huh? With their military being so outspoken. With this, where they're going into government buildings and taking the picture of Macron off the wall.
I couldn't find that video. I had a video of them having a cement truck, or it was basically like a truck that would clean out like a septic tank, but they were blasting the president's house with feces.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard about that done before down south somewhere where the guy was fined, like a farm owner was fined, and he used his fucking fertilizer machine, whatever the fuck it's called, to go blast the town hall with cow shit.
Seems like we Americans are being out Americaned
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Europe, by Cuba.
It's like you had one job, America. stay, what is it? Ruggedly individualist.
And if you alphabet boys are listening, no, I do not mean that as that the air quote insurrection on 1/6 should have been more hardcore. It's quite the opposite of that.
Right? Just
You know,
listen to our
look,
previous podcasts,
but
Alphabet Boys.
look at how weak the photos and the images from that insurrection are compared to what you're seeing here, for one.
Yeah.
But we said it immediately that, and it seems like AOC might have checked out some of our stuff, because she is now occupying the steps of Wall Street, which we called immediately live on the insurrection broadcast. Just everybody stop, sit down,
Yep.
sit the fuck down right now and hold.
Yep.
For
Before
as
there
long
was
as
any
you can.
violence. That's
Set
what
up
we said.
supply lines, hold that shit down for as long as you can.
Right?
But
have people go buy water and frozen pizzas or whatever. All the Little Caesars you could buy in the city, and just chill. Sit down and don't move. Peacefully occupy.
France said, fuck peace.
Yeah, they said it on January 6th. They said that there was absolutely no damage done to any of the artwork or the statues, right?
I believe so.
I think this would be considered damage to the artwork, wouldn't it? France, once, like Melly says right here, out American. We're getting shown up by the people that we make fun of for being cowards most of the time.
Well, if anybody now, or maybe just hold it in your back pocket during these uncertain times. This is a vaccine mandate protest letter for employees, typed up by lawyers, no copyright claimed. It's here on my Twitter. It's in our Discord server for
I shared it
anybody's
to a
use.
couple of different Discords
if you
as
should
well.
need it. And it seems like we very well may be needing it in the future. I look forward to these class action lawsuits.
Yep. Thanks for the follow, J Freak. P? What does that mean? Politics. What's that, Aaron Rupar? What's that one?
It's not that good.
I just hate Aaron Rupar. This is so wild to me. I can't imagine not having friends across the political spectrum. It says more than half of Republicans say they have a Democratic friend. Less than a third of Democrats say they have a Republican friend.
Yeah, that was better than I remembered.
Oh, right on, J Freak. What's up? Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for stopping through.
But yeah,
I shouldn't assume your gender, right?
I definitely can agree and attest to the graphic that's on the screen. That even some of the most hardcore conservatives I know have liberal friends, but the liberals these days do seem to be building walls and pushing anybody away that doesn't look or sound like them.
Yeah. Yeah, our one liberal friend, I had a little conversation with him in a voice channel not too long ago, and he seems to be coming back down to earth. You know, he was in fucking space when the election happened, but he seems to be coming back down, seeing as though the world isn't safe still.
Shit. So Jen Psaki says Chicago crime is not going to turn on a dime. And I want to point out or extend that by saying that it's not going to stop on all the reparations money either.
Not on all those dimes either, you don't think?
Nope. It will not stop. It will have no effect.
Right? It doesn't matter how many dimes you stack up. It's not going to change the way things are moving right now. Chicago crime. If you're a member of our Discord, I'll throw up another link here. But if you're a member of the Discord, after every weekend, I post the shooting numbers just from Chicago, literally just the city of Chicago every single weekend, and it's pretty interesting if you're following along at home. And then I posted yesterday in the Discord, I posted the monthly wrap up, and it seems to be we're about 15% worse than last year, when last year was record numbers
During a lockdown.
Something like 470 or something like that last month. I'm not even sure. I'm just guessing. I could probably go look real quick. Month in review, 461 shootings in July alone. 15% increase from last year.
So Fauci wants to develop vaccines for the next pandemic before it hits. Meanwhile, while we have a vaccine, a so-called vaccine that doesn't work for the one that's already fucking here, and the big companies are raising prices on said vaccine, just as it's being announced all over the world that the booster shots are going to be required and are being implemented. Takes me back to what I said earlier about if you think big pharma is in the business of developing cures, I have a treatment to sell you, just as they have these vaccine treatments to sell you for the rest of your fucking life. It's not just a flu shot anymore. It's going to probably get up to 3 or 4 different jabs a year before they just make it a fucking cocktail and give you one shot for the year, and hopefully it works.
We sure seem to be getting there pretty fucking quick, man.
Yeah, one of my conservative coworkers mentioned it, and it sort of reiterated one of the points that I made, a few times, but definitely back in the election. He's like, man, I can't believe how fast we've gotten along in Biden's agenda, like how far we are, and like just how different, and the world is just so fucking different than it was. Trump's last days in office, peace in Middle East, gas prices, fucking everything's upside down.
Just
And
the
I
way
remember
of life, being in
but
public.
I remember saying that, putting my whole spin on the uniparty, and the uniparty isn't new. There's always been a uniparty, and it sort of can attest for some of the way things went during Trump's presidency. But I said, that the whole argument that the Q guys would like to say, oh, that shit, I said the letter. Fuck.
Oh, shit.
I said the letter.
Gonna have to restart the video now.
No shit. The whole point that people would make that Trump wasn't supposed to win, and I argued he absolutely was supposed to win because the after Trump effect has gotten us farther, so much farther than 4 years of Hillary ever would have. She would have been met with, she would have been combated. So many people were fucking against her and had their eyes open to their fucking bullshit that she wouldn't have been as easily able to fucking do all this shit that everybody's so welcoming to right now, because damn, that orange man is fucking terrible, and it's all worth it.
Yeah, I mean, down the road of division, we've come fucking millions of miles. It seems like in the last fucking 10 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is a conversation that me and Red have been having since the beginning because I'm a Trump supporter. I think that he wasn't supposed to win. Red thinks that it fits right in line with how things are going. Makes it hard to argue against as far as personal belief, you know. Jay Freak says,
I don't believe. Well, but before you read that, I said I do not believe that you get to the White House without being bought and paid for, and I stand by that.
Jay Freak says, you guys going to get the vaccine test for the vaccine test so we can test the next vaccines? Johnson & Johnson will love the sales. Oh, and if you get blood clots, don't forget the Johnson & Johnson blood clot medicine as well. It's interesting that you mentioned the Johnson & Johnson having a backup treatment because Pfizer and AstraZeneca, or no, Pfizer and Moderna both announced yesterday. I think I posted it in the Discord like 3 or 4 days ago, but they announced yesterday that they're raising prices on their vaccine treatments.
Yep, just in time for boosters.
Just
Prices go up.
And of course, they're going to say it's because, you know, when we designed these, they weren't designed to be a 3-shot system. So, of course, it's going to cost us more money now.
Oh, I thought they were free. I thought the vaccines were free.
Not to the government. Nothing's really free. You know what I mean?
But Bernie said
for
college
every
was going to
single
be
one of them.
free. But Bernie said my medicine and my college was going to be free.
Yeah, free. Everything's free. We're supposed to have college free. We're supposed to have
Rent-free.
fucking doctors free. Yeah, we're supposed to be rent free now. Things are coming up roses as long as you're in government contracting. Just in time for winter, right? Exactly, Turbo. Exactly. Dark Winter 2.0.
Yeah, no shit. I forgot about Dark Winter.
Right, Melly? So much for free. See, look at how much our government gives us, all for free. That's a failure of our education system and as us of parents at this point. You know what I mean? The government's just going to give it to us. Who's going to pay for it? Joe Biden. He's got 10% on the side for the big guy, right?
If you want to get a good grip on what's happening in America today, I definitely suggest you check out not only what's happening in China currently, because what's happening in China currently will give you a glimpse of what's going to happen in America, in the future. But check out the Chinese Revolution, and you will see some very glaring comparisons to what's happening right now. But as far as where we are heading, you'll
take a look
definitely
at
see
China
this
domestically.
on the streets of America very soon.
Yeah, you could look back at the last what do you say, 10, probably about 10 years of the Communist Party in China. If you want to see which way our country is moving, look at how they were within their own country, not like internationally, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, look at what they do, because we're going to be right behind it with a slightly deviated plan. That's the way I totally understand that too. I mean, obviously, if the Democrats keep control the way they want. But then I get pissed off because I see shit from the Republicans like, yeah, we're going to go after Ben and Jerry's now. Like, who fucking cares about an ice cream company, bruh? You know what I mean? What the fuck are you doing?
Stagnation is the name of the game, man.
I want to send fucking harshly worded emails to every single Republican that's backing that plan.
One day you're going to see it. You're going to see it my way, and you're going to realize that it's a fucking game. It's right there. It's right there. All the shit going on right now. Ben and fucking Jerry's.
Everything is Ben and Jerry's, right? Like fucking.
Just like with the left not doing anything about the filibuster. They can't. If they need it. They need it to fucking draw this charade out. It is a useful fucking tool in keeping us in fucking control.
Right.
The filibuster is a means of control.
Yeah, it's a means to put something on the table and then let it be taken away so that they could argue about it for the next 8 months, even though they already came to a conclusion, you know?
Damn, somebody just said DeRozan happened.
Oh, the Bulls just got DeMar DeRozan?
That's what I'm being told.
Yeah, that's way more interesting than Derrick Rose.
Yeah, fuck Lonzo.
Yeah, fuck
Lonzo.
Lonzo. I'm not happy about Lonzo.
It's going to be hard to watch. But Miss Melly doesn't want us to bother her chocolate fudge brownie. I fucks with Cherry Garcia myself.
Right? Like Jay Freak says, you know what's worse than the election being stolen? Ben and Jerry's. Let's get on that.
Yep.
Somebody write some shit up. Put it on my desk. Melly says it's a hill she's willing to die on. Right? I'm the same with Coca-Cola. Yeah, they came out with some shitty fucking background shit, but I don't work at Coca-Cola. I just drink the shit, so I don't care. You know what I mean? It is what it is. If you don't like it, then don't buy it. If you like it, then fucking leave it alone. Let it do whatever it wants to. It's a business, right? Build your own Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Melly says a girl needs her chocolate after a fight with her man. And it's extra points if your man happens to be known Ben or Jerry. It's like, you know, you have a soft spot for him to begin with. Yeah, I definitely agree with this. The way China handles their business internally. I think we're taking notes to see what you can get away with in this day and age. You know what I mean? Communist Party and
I wonder. I'm just like wrapping my head around is like how come we see Antifa chasing down, you know, using the mob. I guess it is sort of happening already, but you would think that if the press was doing a good job here in America, you would probably see more of this, you know, of the government, you know, trying to like what they're doing with Assange or Veritas, you know. So it seems like if you're not getting that treatment, you very well probably aren't doing your job, you know, your state media, just the same way that the CCP treated not state media here.
Yeah. Speaking truth to power doesn't seem to mean what it used to mean.
So the BBC calls for immediate action by the Chinese government to stop the attacks on journalists following reporting on the floods in the Henan province. They do not want the truth to be out there. You know,
yeah, I heard a little bit more truth about the flooding too. We can get to after this. I kind of want to read this out for the people that are just listening on iHeartRadio. It says, over the weekend, a social media post by a part of the Chinese Communist Party called on citizens to post comments on the whereabouts of a BBC team covering the floods in Henan province. The public comments below the post included death threats against our team. Journalists from other media organizations reporting in Henan were subsequently confronted by an angry mob looking for the BBC team. There must be immediate action by the Chinese government to stop these attacks, which continue to endanger foreign journalists. So the government, the Chinese Communist Party government, incited a mob to look for the British broadcasting channels, reporters. Pretty interesting. They said
very interesting.
They reported that like only 30 people died in the subway flooding, but it's starting to come out now. The latest number I heard was as many as 300 people died in their subway flooding.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think of those videos. You remember like when they had like that huge, massive sinkhole and it destroyed like a large portion of this city street. And in like 2 days, it was fixed and back up and running. And, you know, a lot of people, especially progressives, are like, man, look at how efficient and, you know, how quick they're able to rebuild this. You know, look at how China's infrastructure, how well China's infrastructure is doing. And then you see stuff like this where, you know, the dams are breaking, flood subways have no fucking drainage systems, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like easily avoided disaster after fucking disaster. You know, just yeah, okay, they can build shit, they can mass produce shit, but they still haven't figured out quality.
Yeah, yeah. And the
And
funny
when
thing about
and it's what you're
authoritarian
getting with
regimes,
fuck yeah, with fucking yeah, exactly. This is a prime example of how communism fucking works. It's all for appearances. It's all fucking for show. But if you look behind the curtain,
yeah,
it ain't much.
there's fucking them bodies in them there hills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's where the
Yeah,
fucking bodies are.
they could rebuild their subway in record time, and it looks immaculate. You know what I mean? Efficiency is on point in authoritarian regimes. Same with the coronavirus responses. You know what I mean? They could they have no problem fucking welding people into their apartments when they get sick. No problem at all.
We have another story about the FBI being involved in plots to murder people, and you know, just wondering how is it that there was no FBI agents involved on 1/6? They seem to be involved in fucking everything. No, nothing too big or too small.
Yeah, like Melly says here, look behind the curtain and you end up dead too. You see the dead, and then they're like, you join them. Imagine that, the FBI being MIA for this one, only this one, but every fucking where else apparently. Oh yeah, and not investigating Cuomo's nursing home scandal as well. We're gonna get into that later though.
Former Air Force intelligence analyst Daniel Hale gets 3 years and 9 months in prison for leaking top secret drone documents. These were the famous Obama WikiLeaks on the drone strikes.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seems like now that Biden's back in office, Obama's reaching out and touching people again.
Yeah, this is the Intercept too. This is the same fucking the same publication that was responsible for Reality Winner being outed and sent to prison too for leaking. This the Intercept was started by Glenn Greenwald, wasn't it? And then he fucking left, and he's doing his own thing now because he lost control of his own fucking paper.
Talk about a free press. See what they do in China. Send the mob after him over here. You know, you do your job. You're going
Right.
to prison.
Full disclosure, we're both big supporters of Mr. Julian Assange. I think Edward Snowden can rot, though. I don't know.
Jury's out on Snowden still for me. The other one too. Manning.
Yeah, Chelsea Manning. Yeah, don't care. Everybody involved with the Snowden thing, I don't trust it. I don't believe it. Julian Assange is a fucking
He must be
worldwide hero.
protected at all costs. Absolutely. And it's sort of why they're keeping him in limbo, because they're trying to keep him out of. They're so afraid of fucking making him a martyr, whether it's sentencing or, you know, or suiciding. Yeah. Let's fucking be real here. Let's speak the fucking truth here. You know, they're just going to keep him in the dark and just pray that everybody fucking forgets about him, because when, you know, pray he dies of natural causes and can prove it, you know.
Yeah, I think that they have no idea what else he has, what else he continues to accumulate even in prison, you know.
Or he'll live until they do figure it out, like that 32 terabytes of data John McAfee supposedly had.
Yeah, we'll see about that, right? The McAfee tapes, have they started yet?
I have not seen him. I have not seen nothing about him, and I don't know what the fuck anybody'd be waiting on at this point.
Yeah, if anything, that guy said could be taken for what it's worth. He had a fucking ton
Yeah.
of information.
Unless, like I said, unless who was ever holding that switch is now holding that switch to protect their own ass,
Right.
or just trying to fucking sell it. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm thinking right now that the powers that be got to that information, and then whammo. Oh, yeah, this is the Department of Justice seizing the Gilgamesh Dream Tablet. Very important piece of fucking history. A great allegory. Something that people should definitely look into. Very curious allegory. But yeah, it was bought by Hobby Lobby, and the Department of Justice fucking seized it. It's going to send it back to Iraq, which is now, you know, going back towards out of fucking control, just like Afghanistan is. And, you know, just like the majority of artifacts that are found over there these days, it's probably going to be fucking destroyed upon its immediate fucking return. And
is that really what they're doing with it? They're sending it back to
they're
Iraq?
sending it to Iraq, yeah. Where
I wonder if they're sending it back to whoever sold it to Hobby Lobby. You know what I mean? Just a big fucking scheme.
I don't know. From reading the article, I think they're liberating it,
Oh, okay.
and they have plans of doing this with other shit that they come across.
They said this is one of the oldest works of literature. Just the Epic of Gilgamesh, I'd imagine, but cuneiform tablet.
The trafficking of cultural property and art is lucrative criminal enterprise, and I'm reading it on a super small screen so it could be on.
Hobby Lobby bought it so they could display it in the Museum of the Bible in Oklahoma,
which is even fucking wilder to me. I mean, it's a great. Is it a museum of allegory? Because that'd be a great exhibit to put them both together and say, hey, read these documents, and now do a little bit of research, do a little bit of background research, and see how are they the same.
Right? I don't remember Gilgamesh in the Bible. Just because it's old, like it's older than the Bible. That's why they wanted it. Well, Sweetleaf says liberating an artifact.
There's definitely some Gilgamesh in the Bible.
Yeah, but I mean,
some Gilgamesh
the name Gilgamesh, is that in the Bible?
No, not at all. But the morals and the messages and the deeper learning is absolutely.
Yeah, and the great floods and all that. Liberating an artifact, but fucking Cuba, they don't care. Like that, those people are fine unless they have artifacts that shouldn't be there. I wonder how much Hobby Lobby's out on one of the oldest pieces of literature known to man.
Chicago top cop blames wave of gun violence on the court letting violent offenders out of jail.
Really?
Yeah, I hope this guy sticks around after Beetlejuice walks out of town. Have you heard any rumors that she's not going to run again?
No, I haven't.
I started hearing some of that this week, that she's probably not going to run again.
She's going to make her exit?
Mm-hmm. It's obvious. It's not working. Nobody likes her anymore. Not.
How did she get in the first place? Was she have the teachers union support?
Oh yeah, she had everybody support at first, yeah. And month by month, just a hostile work environment and all that. Echoes of
the White House.
Yes, I was trying to come up with the nickname. We're going to go with the heiress.
Yeah, it seems to be a carbon copy with Kamala Harris's approval numbers and the president's approval numbers. They look to be tanking. Melly says she lied her ass off and made all kinds of promises she knew she couldn't keep. Yeah, that's the Chicago way. Remember how Kamala Harris was laughing, saying that it was a debate. It was a debate. Same thing. It was the campaign. Everybody lies in their campaigns. Trash. They should be tarred and feathered and sent out of town, as far as I'm concerned. Go to Indianapolis. Get the fuck out of here. We don't need you.
July 27th, a week or so after getting my holographic Sarah Spain block for suggesting that the vaccinated people are not protected and are not asymptomatic and are spreading the virus and can spread the virus. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says new data shows breakthrough cases of unvaccinated individuals have as much virus to shed and spread as an unvaccinated person. If anybody can go ahead and send that to Sarah Spain for me, I'd appreciate it. Big Red sends his regards.
Anybody out there that isn't blocked by Sarah Spain, if you could forward this message from Big Red, that would be appreciated. Yeah, and I mean, with that thinking, you would think that the vaccinated people would be leading to the spread more than anybody else, seeing as they're the ones that are able to take part in the fucking in society at large at this point.
I don't like how science is being used as a weapon against actual logic and science.
A cudgel.
The real science says that this shit doesn't work. The vaccine doesn't work. The masks don't work. Lockdown sure as shit are a detriment to our fucking health. But we'll be spoon-fed that the science says to do these things that science say don't work.
Fucking nuts.
Insanity.
One of these days we'll protect the most vulnerable. You know what I mean? Maybe one day soon we'll get the people over 75 that are at the highest risk of dying to this disease.
This is interesting.
We'll get them covered.
Assault computers banned in California and Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington due to new regulations on energy usage of consumer products. So no more high-tech gaming PCs, no Alienware, none of that shit if you live in these states, and probably a lot more to follow suit soon.
Right? How long before a new Silk Road makes its way into the dark web? You know what I mean? Just to buy fucking computer parts in California now. And start black marketing video cards and shit.
They really don't want us mining Bitcoin, do they?
Melly says, I'm waiting for the variant that forms because of the vaccinated people. I think that's
very
already,
well is what's happening. That's what's happening already, yes.
I read something earlier today, Miss Melly, about, I believe it was, they called it the Lambda variant. They're going to run out of Greek letters before fucking they run out of...
It's going to be emojis. It will be an emoji variants very soon.
Right, emoji needle variant. But yeah, the lambda variant, they say is much more. I don't know the correct terminology, but shows more immunity to the vaccine than any other variant. What I'm caught up in is this Delta variant, man. It seems to be way more infectious because it's infecting vaccinated people. Yeah, Lambda. Yeah, about the Belushi Lambda. Yeah, right. Or the Tri-Lambs from Revenge of the Nerds. And House Party, or what was it? Belushi. What movie was that? Animal House.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm thinking the Delta variant is just much more contagious, but it doesn't seem to be more deadly. I think that the numbers are showing that, with the hospitalizations being so low, even though the fucking the infection number keeps going up.
But
Animal House, yeah, I got
people
it.
weren't dying already. It was already a fucking 1.9% fucking mortality rate,
Right.
1.1%.
Yeah, I mean, even if you go by the official numbers and you don't question their reporting on the numbers at all, it's still less than 2%, the mortality rate from any of them. A, B, and D now, you know what I mean? Whatever happened to C? Where was the fucking Charlie variant? Are they not going by what's it called? When the military where they just use the first letter? Are they actually going by the Greek alphabet? Where's Gamma? Shouldn't Gamma have been there?
But still, I mean, this banning on these high tech, computer stuff is just foretelling of what else is definitely fucking to come. But it's just frightening. It's very fucking frightening.
You just do whatever they want, man. It brings us to the meme that we were going to use for the thumbnail originally, is with the two scientists looking into a microscope, and it says, what does it say, Red?
Seems to be mutating into a totalitarian regime or totalitarian dictatorship, I think.
Yeah, this appears to be mutating into a totalitarian dictatorship.
The world is we're going into this this new technology frontier, and the president tells minors to learn how to fucking code, and some of our biggest, most liberal cities, huge populations, you cannot have the latest and best technology. Sorry.
Right? How are the miners in California, and what is it?
Are there not people
California?
of color in California? Yeah, exactly. Like, they just denied people of color, disenfranchised, poor people of color,
High-end PCs that they were
yes, high-end
probably going to
PCs.
use to go to school on, because I'm sure California can't really go to school yet, right? It's sad. At this point, we should be fucking down the road of reform on many different fronts, but instead we're just going to spin our fucking tires where we're at.
Here's the other side of that too, as well, is because it's because of energy usage is their reasoning. But I thought we were going green. I thought California had this fucking green grid. So why the fuck does it matter if we're not burning fossil fuel? If it's clean energy, fuck it. Right? Right? Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
Or is this the next form of control? You only have, whatever it is, 6 kilowatts of energy this year.
Yeah. You get 4 hours of light a night.
Yeah, you're allotted energy.
Don't microwave
usage.
that extra hot pocket, motherfucker. You're gonna be sitting in the dark. You're gonna be eating it in the dark.
You better hope it's hot out and you could fry it on your hood, the hood of your fucking Tesla.
PC supremacists are the biggest threat in America today. Those PC master race assholes.
PC supremacists are the biggest threat since the Civil War. Oh man, I'd be pissed if I was in California and I was fucking,
Yeah, I mean,
doing anything to do with fucking computers. If you can't buy new high-end.
Isn't that where, like, a lot of video games and shit like that are made and developed?
Yeah. Where is Silicon Valley again?
Well, I'm sure Google will be able to have all the high-tech shit they need. It's just, you can't have it.
Right?
We can't fucking have it.
I wonder if Rockstar can stay in California. You know what I mean? Make Grand Theft Auto 7 without having high-end gaming PCs.
Oh. And here we have, yeah, definitely could talk about this.
Oh, yeah, that was a great one.
Project Veritas leaked a CNN fluff piece on AOC called Being AOC, where she was Well,
Have you
basically
guys out there
doubling.
seen this yet?
Definitely worth checking out. You could only probably find it on Rumble right now. Um, but yeah, they do, you know, her background, all that. And Project Veritas actually goes to where she's supposedly from and tries to find anybody that has ever heard of AOC growing up or anything like that. It's pretty funny. But AOC doubles down on her interview with CNN, saying that on 1/6 she thought that not only did she think she was going to be murdered, she thought she, you know, instead of insinuating that she was going to be raped like she was doing before, came flat out and says it that she thought she was going to be. And once again, she was not even in the Capitol. She was blocks away, which we've covered on this, you know, as this shit was breaking. And the people that were banging on her door that she was tweeting about having to hide in her bathroom from was the Capitol Police.
Yeah, the only person that she encountered that was aggressive in any way was the Capitol Police officer that was trying to get her and take her to
Because
safety
they came into the room a little bit too intense.
and said, "Where's she at?" instead of Capitol Police, "Where's she at?" Well, if she wasn't hiding in a bathroom, if she had her big girl pants on. Makes you wonder
Yeah.
what her support staff is, how they are assembled. You know what I
It
mean?
doesn't seem like anybody's willing to take a bullet for her.
Right? All of her aides. You know what I mean? Fuck, Cuomo's aides were fucking getting sexually harassed by the person that they were serving. Hers were fucking sending her into a bathroom. What do we got next?
Just things that we have to point out for people, and you know, in an attempt to bring them fucking back on home. How did the CDC director go from asserting so definitely that just 2 weeks ago that there's no reason for our vaccinated people to wear masks to the message about vaccine resistant strains? 2 weeks. How are these experts in the ideology of science, you know, these priests of fucking science, still have any fucking credibility in the hearts of the fucking masses? Nobody is it really nobody fucking paying attention? There's people, that many people out there with goldfish memory.
I mean, did we just
It's
stop working on like treatments that actually attack the virus instead of treatments that talk our bodies into making something to attack the virus? You know
this,
what I
vac-
mean? Did they just stop trying to figure something out that's just going to kill the virus?
this vaccine is the woke softball coach that just stand. Come on, come on, you're doing great.
Right.
Fucking dying here.
Right. I mean, I guess if you're trying real hard, if you're giving it
It's
your most out there.
the teacher from Beavis and Butthead. Do you remember that?
Oh man.
Fly, lesbian seagull.
Keep trying. I'll just hang out here until you figure it out.
It's a little video of I went to the immersive Van Gogh exhibit in Chicago, and it was absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend it.
Make that live screen for me, will you? It's a widescreen. It's a live screen. Make that live, will you, Red?
Yeah. This is towards the end of it, but some of it is pretty fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When
cool.
the whole room is lit up, it's great.
Yeah, that's dope.
would definitely go again.
I laughed my ass off watching this video. I watched this the other day on your Twitter.
There was a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun.
If you get that music reference, go ahead and type it in chat. Look at these fucking kids. Nobody's afraid to be electrocuted.
Zero fucks. Zero fucks on these kids.
What are those, like pay to use monitors?
Yeah, probably an internet cafe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got when you got to do it, man. You got to do it.
I only got 3 days left on the battle pass.
I'm gonna be making shoes for the next 137 hours straight.
Gotta get it in.
I gotta make LeBron James new shoes for the fucking season. His Space Jam editions.
I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends. They're fucking dedicated little gamer fucks.
Dude was standing on a pot. Did you see that last kid had a pot on the chair and he was crouched on the fucking pot? Oh,
some of those kids are just chilling like it ain't even happening. Sit back in their gamer fucking mode.
That's fucking hilarious, man.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
There's Eric Weinstein tweeted something that we sort of talked about, that our leaders need to get younger. At least Blizza's conservative fucking leaders need to start resembling the squad. Where's the squad on the fucking conservative side? You got to get with the times. Join us in the fucking 21st fucking century. Let go of some old outdated fucking bullshit. It doesn't mean completely destroy your fucking values. We could still have truth, justice in the American way in the 21st century.
Yeah, I agree. I think we could definitely let go of some stigma on the right, some dogma, some old dogmatic beliefs can go. I think that some need to make a roaring comeback. You know what I mean? Well, I was talking to somebody the other day and they were talking about, just generally how slavery was accepted in the 1700s. And they were like, they just the way I was thinking about it, like slavery in the 1700s, and then like what would we be judged as now by the future? You know what I mean? And I generally think abortion is that thing. Like they're gonna think we're fucking savages for allowing children to be murdered in that way. Sorry, my dog's kind of going crazy in the background.
I'm on the other side of that, and I know from personal experience, there's enough kids in this world being born into shit that they don't need to be. There is another side to it, and those kids that are born because they should be, because it's the law, nobody really gives a fuck about them after that. So I don't think that those laws on people's bodies are going to exist in the future. So, I mean, it's just like, it's just fighting change. I don't think that's one of the fucking things that really make or break a fucking nation or a culture. You know what I'm saying? I think that specifically is one of the bigger issues that the conservatives need to just fucking let go of, and give people their fucking freedoms. They're supposed to be the side of freedom. And
yeah, I don't know. I also believe that after the kid's born that we need to do better at taking care of these at-risk people, vulnerable people in general. We need to protect the most vulnerable. Like, I believe that. But at the same time, that's one of the things, like, as somebody on the right, I think we're still open to compromise. You know what I mean? We can move on certain issues, but we need to, like, we in general, we can move as long as it's not compromising your
but
principles.
I
You know
mean,
what I
we're
mean?
not. But you're not moving forward by, how are you free in any way if the government has, you give the government this say over people's fucking bodies and their lives? How are you free in any fucking way, shape, or form? It's wrong. It's overreach. The government has no fucking business, just like the fucking vaccine. This
Well,
is
yeah. I mean, I just see it as different because the government isn't trying to control your body. They're trying to make sure that you don't control somebody else's. They're humans, you know. They're humans. It's a life. It's guaranteed, protected. Like I said, I just don't believe in it personally. But in the future, like, the future will judge us because we're still doing this. This is going to be our big moral wrong. That's
I don't
kind of the way I think.
I think this is gonna be quite the opposite, man. I think the future, it's going quite the other direction, with the personal liberties and the freedom of expression, that everything is okay now. you know I think I don't think there's any future fucking world power that's going to, fucking to truly fucking ban it and be like, the bastion of freedom for their fucking time. I don't see it. I don't
Yeah,
fucking see it. I think that, yeah, I think people that are trying to take that right away from women are on the wrong side of history.
they very well may be, but that just means we're not ready. You know what I mean? Personally, it doesn't mean it's the
Well, see, I don't think it's the act of abortion or the need for abortion to be legal that is a sign of that. I think it's, the cause of that. You know what I'm saying? That there's so many kids out there that are people out there that are having kids that are not prepared for the outcome or the long haul. That's the true problem that should be addressed. Let's not say, hey, no, none of you can do this. Let's fix the problems that cause that happening and see what happens then.
yeah.
But the option is a fucking personal fucking option. And I mean, at this point, you're not taking it, you're not putting the rabbit back in the hat.
Right. Yeah, and I'm not saying legally necessarily. I'm just saying morally. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's morally wrong, and it would be best if culture, you know, if culture pushed that in the other direction instead of the way it's going now, where it's going to be like, I don't know, trying to make it as easy as buying a fucking milkshake. You know, in a perfect world, there would
But I
never
mean,
be a
there's plenty
need
of
for
things.
it
There's
to
plenty
be
of
an
things.
issue. You know what I
But I
mean?
mean, there's plenty of things that you can do long before it gets to that point. You know what I'm saying? Fucking
Mm-hmm.
after pills, shit like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's. But
There are plenty of options. It's not like there are no options. And like I said, this isn't talking about legality and making it illegal. In the perfect world, like I said, there would never be a need for it. It wouldn't be an issue because it would just go away. And obviously, as Americans, we need to be having more kids. You know what I mean? Our
the smart people need to have more kids. The
I mean,
dumb
in
people
general,
are outbreeding the smart people by
yeah,
vast quantities, and that is the problem. Smart people have one kid, maybe, possibly fucking two. Focus on their work and their life. Smart people need to start getting it on.
yep.
Start putting them out there.
Stop being so fucking greedy and selfish. Cultural problems that don't show any signs of going away. But yeah, our reproduction rate as Americans is down. And we don't want to run into the same problem that China's about to run into, where they just get old and they don't have a lot of as many people. You know, obviously they
What do
have
you mean? The eugenics are working.
having less kids. They just allowed people to have 3 kids now in China. They upped the
Yeah,
number.
I know China's gearing up for something, but
For world domination.
Japan was going through this, less than 10 years ago, where they had the lowest population, I guess the lowest birth rate, I guess, in a long time, and it was consistent over a couple of years that nobody was having kids anymore. And it was, you had like the waifu and the the OnlyFans shit. It's a lot like what's fucking happening now. It's a play that's been played before, and it's I can definitely see it for what the fuck it is. I mean, we were talking about we were talking about pornography on the last episode, and how it's a huge detriment if it's overdone, but just like any fucking thing can be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what they were talking about? Is our porn stars conservative on the last episode?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Hookers are liberals, porn stars are conservatives. That was a good one. I like that one, Red. What do we got here now? Aldous Huxley quote. The surest way to work up a crusade in favor of some good cause is to promise people they will have a chance of maltreating someone, to be able to destroy with good conscience, to be able to behave badly and call your bad behavior righteous and indignation. This is the height of psychological luxury, the most delicious of moral treats.
Think of that when you see people virtue signaling and screaming at you with their place of valor.
Mm-hmm.
That the mob mentality is real, and
remember these most
once
of
you
these
dehumanize someone, it's people like to love to bully.
Yep. And remember, this is the everyone gets a trophy generation, So right now this is their first opportunity to get a trophy, and they don't know how to win properly or lose properly. It's their it's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. It's like you said, they're righteous high ground. You know what I mean? Moral high ground. This is the first time in their lives they felt like they've been on the moral high ground. So they're gonna stay there and do whatever they need to do to magnify that morality and the virtue.
This is a clip from that Being AOC that Project Veritas put out, where they had this gentleman walk up to AOC and ask her for an interview. He's like, "Hey, I'm a journalist." She's like, "Oh, hey, that's great." It was warm and welcoming. And he says, "With Project Veritas," and she completely flips out and starts, having her staff run her away. But you could see her face there, and a lot like her testimony about what happened on 1/6. It seems to me that right there, that was the moment when AOC not only thought she would be murdered, but also raped.
And then she swiftly disappeared into the back of some car and was whisked away. That was a good little video. If anybody out there wants to see it, go to Project Veritas on YouTube.
Was it harder to get into Lala this weekend than it is to get into this country illegally?
Fence jumpers will be prosecuted.
Really?
That ought to stop them, says Barstool. Like we don't know.
But if they do catch you, though, they will prosecute you, which is hilarious.
Seems seems walls or fences in this case might work a little.
Pfizer CEO says vaccine effectiveness drops to 84% after 6 months. Just in time for those price hikes. So is that what it's
Yeah.
going to be? You're not going to need one a year. You're going to need one every 6 months
Yep.
to make sure you're strong enough to stay on top of the fucking variants.
You need update doses every 6 months. Pfizer says 84%. That's funny though, because I've been involved in a couple of arguments in Twitch and in Discord, and they're still touting the high 90s, the 96% efficacy rates. And it seems that Pfizer just hasn't seen the same study that they're reading from.
So did you see? Go ahead, finish.
No, just that right there. Pfizer said that their own efficacy rates dropped to 84% after 6 months.
So did you see this? That the data, the game changer data the CDC used for the new mask mandate is from a single study in India that was rejected in peer review.
Yep. Yeah, I did hear this, that it was that this whole mask mandate for the Delta strain was a study from India.
And it was immediately rejected.
Rejected.
And then it was agreed upon 20 days later. Very interesting. Still under review though. Current status still said under review as of that time. Wonderful.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it makes me question this variant shit altogether because there's no tests for it. I believe I should have something coming up. Hopefully it's fucking on there. It didn't get wiped off of Twitter, but it's CDC. It's an email from the CDC to someone asking about the variants and basically saying that the tests, they can detect variants, but they can't tell you what variant it is. And how the fuck does that work?
Yeah, they just detect the virus itself, like the signature of the main virus.
But the test, yeah, but they're saying that it's a positive variant test, but they can't tell you what variant it is. So how do they know it's a variant at all? It really makes me wonder. So yeah, this is the world that the elite want to live in, you know. But also, it made me once I played this video of the empty stadiums at the Olympics, I definitely thought it would be a sound that Greta Thunberg falls asleep to. It's like her sound of the beach.
Right? Yeah. They said it's just the sound of cicadas in Tokyo.
That's what the Olympics sounds like without anybody there. Bill Gates is rubbing one out to that.
They said the Olympics viewership is down like fucking 35%. Just like everything else, no one cares.
Yeah. Biden's investing billions in airports and roads, transit, not clean and green transit, just shipping up everything that we already have. I'm starting to wonder when AOC is gonna start radicalizing herself because things aren't going her way.
It's
Or is she
crazy.
just Biden waiting for the old man to croak and the heiress to take over, and then
Yeah,
we'll start really seeing it.
I think that's what most of the progressives are waiting on at this point. It's kind of sad that they say hundreds of billions in spending for transportation, but it's a $1 trillion deal, and it's like what else is infrastructure besides roads and highways and bridges? I mean, like water, sewers, you know what I mean? Street sewers, sanitation, water. That's what infrastructure is. I wonder how much money is going to those four things out of this 1 trillion. It's just kind of sad to see that it's only says hundreds of billions instead of, $1 trillion infrastructure plan going to fix these things. It's only a section of it. We're probably sending money overseas for something dumb in this fucking bill too. I'd
Capitol
be much
Police.
more impressed if I was just gonna say I'd be much more impressed if we actually started like treating the money that we're giving the world as a loan instead of just a gift. It's like you're gonna have to pay us back with something for these monies that we give you so consistently.
Oh, I'm sure someone's paid back.
Yeah, it's coming back to their own personal bank accounts, but not the fucking treasury. You know what I mean? They're treating it like they're investing our money for themselves, like a big fucking Enron Ponzi scheme. What do we got
Capitol Police ordered by Nancy Pelosi to arrest staff and visitors who do not wear masks. Capitol's way more secure than the fucking border right now.
Right? I wonder how
And
much money
still,
is going into the walls that they plan on putting up in DC. It's like we're entering entering an era of like neo feudalism. All these people that are gonna get evicted, you know what I mean? They're just gonna be serfs to the establishment, the owners of the property. Isn't that the deal? The Great Reset? You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. Seems like it's trending.
Biden's making sure that his military is vaccinated before they have to march the streets of America. Must be protected against these under-vaccinated peasants.
Yep, directing the military to develop a plan for making COVID-19 vaccine mandatory for service personnel. This was good. This was a good one for the Republicans. At least they all fucking came together to protest the bullshit rules Pelosi passes and doesn't follow herself minutes after.
Yeah, said somebody check on AOC, make sure, but don't knock too loudly.
Yeah. Wear your gloves when you knock on the door.
But then the GOP bounced right back with so what we were just talking about a few segments ago. 228 GOP lawmakers call on Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, and I'm just like, come the fuck on, guys, come on. Once again, like what we just said, that there's so much shit going on, and you guys are focusing on shit that is
wrong shit.
Been done with, man. Going so far fucking backwards, just stagnation, dude. The opposite of progress.
Yeah. The Supreme Court will never take this up without an actual challenge. They're not going to do it just because people wrote a letter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I said challenging Roe v. Wade today is the equivalent of progressives believing communism will work this time. Progressives need to check their egos. Conservatives need to join us in the 21st century.
Agreed, man. There's a lot of things that we just need to let go of as relics of the past,
And just look at the Pope. The Pope's doing it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Pope's got no fucking problem doing it. A little too much.
Way too much. The Pope is the one that should be fucking on the, laying down the guidelines, and he's just like, yeah, that's cool.
that DNA that God made in an image of Himself. Yeah, He didn't do it so good. So go ahead and shoot yourself up with whatever they'll give you.
Yeah, yeah, it's all right. God makes mistakes. You can go ahead and fix him. Crazy. I should have linked that Vegano, the message he had for the Pope in the Discord, because it's spicy.
Here's that document. Let me see if I could bring that up. There we go. So the CDC funds Democrat campaigns. This is a very, very interesting piece of information that came out last week. We were sharing it in the Discord. The CDC is, how can they be looked at as, any different from any other fucking biased organization now, they do not represent science. They do not, they have a fucking obvious agenda. It's no longer tinfoil hat to say that, to believe that.
Yeah, this story is linked in the Discord if you want to go check it out, but it's definitely interesting. It's thought provoking when you think about the money that the CDC spends on political campaigns and advertising. These commercials you see for the CDC, for vaccine commercials that are paid for by the CDC.
Your mask should not be covering your eyes.
You're wearing them wrong, people. None of these masks are made here. They started to be made here, but then as soon as China opened up selling masks again, right back to buying Chinese masks.
This is a good joke. Throwback to some of our earlier episodes. As COVID-19 deaths rise in Myanmar, allegations are growing that the military government is using the coronavirus pandemic to consolidate power and crush opposition. A regime is using COVID-19 to consolidate power and crush opposition in Myanmar. Only in Myanmar.
Yeah. That's a good callback to anybody that watched our earlier episodes of the podcast. In Myanmar, they fortified elections.
Fortified the shit out of the election. That's how they seem to be fortifying the pandemic as well. In Myanmar.
It's so much cooler than in a video game or in Minecraft.
It is.
In Myanmar.
So make sure you show this to any progressives that wants to gaslight or wants to be gaslit about protecting the environment or saving the fucking environment, as well as protecting the most vulnerable, whatever the hell that means today. How these masks that have, some portions of the world have masked up for a little bit, but in a very short amount of time, these fucking masks have taken up a large portion of the pollution and the new pollution in the fucking oceans. And you won't hear Greta Thunberg crying about this.
Damn, what does it say? Mask pollution from 2020 is equal to 7% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch?
It's insane. Yeah. It's nuts.
Holy shit. It takes 450 years for a disposable mask to biodegrade, and it takes 200 years for an aluminum can.
So I think I just solved the problem. I think I know where I want the unvaccinated ghetto to be, man. Let's make a fucking island out of that garbage patch.
Yeah. You can put a little bit of work in.
I've seen it done. Yeah, we just bag up all that fucking plastic, throw it in fucking barrels, shit like that, tie it all together, and it is not hard to fucking do. She floats. She already floats. Protect the environment. Have our own. The unvaccinated ghetto will be an island. It's way better than what they're going to give us here.
Right? We don't have to worry about climate change on our floating island because we'll just rise higher in the rising waters.
Well, the resistance needs to get a boat. The resistance needs boats, and we're going to get to work on this fucking island.
That's all we need are boats.
Matt Walsh, you son of a bitch. You better not
be
this
lurking, you fuck.
one.
Matt Walsh tries to steal all our good ideas. Man, that sucks. My internet cut out for some reason a little while ago.
This shit is hilarious here. I just don't know what the fuck we're doing. I don't know what this is. So there's an MMA fight where it's 3 opponents versus 1 guy, and it goes exactly as you fucking think it would.
3v1 MMA fight?
Which I think I would have held out a little bit better against these guys, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to go exactly like you think it will.
Who is this badass that thought he could take on 3
He actually
dudes?
looks like the Tiger King fucking boyfriend that got his teeth fixed.
It might be him, just looking for one big payout, taking it all at once. A 3-fight contract he renegotiated into 1 fight contract.
So one guy takes him down and just holds him, and the other 2 just pound on him. It's ridiculous. What is this? It's unbelievable.
Oh my god. I've never
this get
seen any
sanctioned?
shit like that before in my life.
Like, they didn't even try to fight him. They went in there straight up. Just hold him down.
Yep. Take him down in Anaconda. We got the rest. That's great. Fucking Russia. They don't give a shit. Yeah, that's a great video.
When Vax the Vote was trending over the weekend, I wanted to remind everybody what that unvaccinated doesn't refer to just one group of Republican Trump supporters. It doesn't refer to the group that you think it does. That Black and Hispanic people are mostly the underserved and the unvaccinated category. The word that they like to use on the left, underserved.
Right.
The war on landlords intensifies. I'm sure BlackRock is going to be much more tolerant as a landlord than your private landlords are. Yeah. I can't wait for people to get what they fucking asked for on this one.
Right. I can't wait for,
I'm going to Garbage Island, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I wonder what the response time is going to be when you call your landlord to tell him that the fucking heat is out and you have to leave a message on BlackRock answering machines.
Press 1 for English.
I don't give a fuck. I'll be on Garbage Island.
Yep. 0 fucks given.
That's what we were talking about before we went live, is that we wish they just tell us where the unvaccinated ghetto is going to be so we could just get a head start, pick out the nice plot,
once
get your
again,
corner apartment ready.
We've gone ahead and solved the problem for them. We picked our plot.
Yep. Garbage Island it is.
Check out this video, Blizz. All right, go ahead.
I was just going to say, go ahead and continue to wear your masks and fortify our island.
How about that slave owner LeBron James? Pretty friendly guy. He has to be a pretty friendly guy to do a Looney Tunes movie, right? Oh, let me cut that because that's gonna get fucking copyrighted. Fucking Usher. Hey, LeBron, can I get an autograph? The fuck out of here. Dude definitely missed an opportunity to flop hard as fuck right there.
Right? Done. I would have been down.
What a nice guy. What a swell character, this guy. I'd have probably flopped on that, but of course I wouldn't have walked up to LeBron James asking for a fucking an autograph or a picture.
Nope. Definitely not.
Oh, I'm glad this is still up.
Yeah, back to being out Americaned by the Parisians.
Well, no, this is actually fucking terrible. There's a bunch of people. They were just outside dining, I guess, protesting the law, sitting out in a restaurant outside dining area, and just behold. There will be no baguettes. It's going down everywhere else, but of course they're gonna go rush and try to fuck with the people that are just sitting down. You hear chaos everywhere else. Motherfuckers are just sitting down.
Hey, I was just trying to have lunch, man. What the hell? Yeah,
definitely being out American.
Yeah, they make it illegal to not wear a mask?
I think they're doing the vaccine mandate.
Right? They're getting vaccinated as they're being checked into prison.
Oh, that cop doesn't have his mask on. The cops fucking pop him over the head and drag him away too. Well, that guy's got a mask on. Respect for France, man. This is not it's not your granddaddy's France. They must have been watching a lot of G.I. Joe and shit, playing with guns in the last couple generations.
Yeah, right. They're basically the only major European country that was getting militarized over these last couple of fucking decades. They kind of frown on Germany doing that, so they didn't try.
This takes me to one of the points I was making with Miss Sarah Spain regarding the variants, that previous vaccines, such as the polio vaccine, the measles vaccines, they worked. And here we have the COVID vaccines have generated more adverse reports in the first 6 months than all 70 vaccines over the past 30 years combined.
Is there a Delta variant for polio?
Never heard of it. Where by that logic, we'd still be dealing with those variants today, wouldn't we? Because it certainly seems like these fucking COVID variants are going to be here with us forever. Or it might just be,
even in like the measles outbreaks. Yeah, I was just about to say, just like even with the new measles outbreaks, are they variants of the measles, or are they pretty fucking close to the original strain of the measles? You know what I mean? It's so weird to me.
But if it was, if it was a brand new variant, why are we not getting these super spreader fucking variants off of it? Why is it not evolving to beat the vaccine that worked? Because your body says, fuck you, measles. I know what you are and I can beat you.
Right. So many quick evolutions in this fucking crazy Einstein virus. Frankenstein virus, I should say, right?
There we have the reports that Pfizer and Moderna are raising their prices on their free vaccine just as the booster shots are about to go into effect.
Well, would you look at that?
If you think Big Pharma is interested in making cures, I've got a treatment to sell you.
All right. They're going to have to come up with a brand new tax for us to pay for the world.
And here is my my big fucking story of the day that I wanted to fucking get into. Holy fuck, Creepy Joe, man. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Oh, did you see this, Blizz? Did you watch this all the way through?
Yeah.
Yikes. Yikes, man. Well, we'll just let it play for everybody out there that hasn't seen this.
What does Joe Biden put Andy Bashir's son saying? Looks like his.
Here, just watch.
He's giving him the same talk he gives to every boy that has a sister. He's folding up. He's giving him his fucking...
Folded up his COVID mask and just held this little boy's hand for a while and then passed him it. The little boy says, "Hey, what's this?" And slips it into his pocket. What the fuck is that, America? What the fuck was that, America?
That's your boy. It's your boy, JB.
What was on the note, or what was written inside the mask? Was it most votes in history? Or was it his favorite ice cream flavor? Or was it instructions to meet at the back door at at midnight?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure none of that follows CDC guidelines.
Yeah, that's a very good fucking call there. Which part of this does the CDC approve of? Let's see if we could. Just holding this young little man's hand. Yeah. What is he doing, man?
What a creepo.
How is he allowed to be around anybody's kids? And the scary thing is like with these indoctrinated people, you know, all this information is out there and people will still bring their kids to them. Just like all those people that sent their kids to Michael Jackson's house. You know, it's pretty fucking interesting. Some of, you know, you think of the psychology of some of these fucking worshipers, you know, they put their idols on fucking pedestals and can completely see something happening, but also turn a fucking blind eye to, you know, even their own fucking kids' fucking safety.
Yeah. If I was involved in politics at all in Washington or wherever the fuck he landed for this photo op, I wouldn't be bringing my children. Like, you want to meet the president, grow up and be fucking meet a president. You know what I mean? I wish I never met this guy. Afghanistan's president blames abrupt U.S. withdrawal for deteriorating security.
Bring back the infidels.
Shit. Say bring back the infidels.
Yeah, it is a big no shit for sure, but at the same time, not our fucking problem.
Yeah. We've been there for 20 years, guys.
Not our fucking problem.
It's already lost. It's fucking crazy. Taliban was wasting zero time in that fucking...
Yeah. China's stepped out from behind that curtain.
Yep. And hi, guys.
Yeah. And yeah, third officer. So this was August 2nd. Third officer who responded to the January 6th Capitol riot, reports came out that died by suicide. And then in the middle of the night, reports came out of about a fourth, which is they're talking about it on CNN right now.
Yeah, that's interesting because I didn't hear that at all till you told me about it, that there was another one that came out overnight. So that's now 4 Capitol
4.
Police officers that have committed suicide since the 6th.
This,
Is suicide like a big thing with the Capitol Police, or
they're gonna try to spin the PTSD angle. Which, if that's the case, then they need to do stricter psych evaluations on their fucking new hires.
what's happening, Biggs? Welcome to the stream, bud.
But I suggested when the first guy killed himself, days after the event, like, man, maybe this guy's a vet, and just can't live with what happened to fucking Ashley Babbitt. Or maybe it's just, that these guys see how they're being used as a tool against the fucking people. Could be a mix of all of that. I wish I wish there were some notes from some of these fucking guys.
Yeah, I'm sure. Usually
the
suicides come with notes, and especially you'd think out of 4 of them there'd be some kind of.
Yeah, you'd think we'd get a TikTok from one of these fucking guys.
I don't know. I mean, why are they opening up so many Capitol Police offices all over the country if they obviously aren't funding necessary resources for the officers that were at the Capitol?
How many more, man? How many more need to kill themselves before people start thinking that there's something to fucking see here?
Yeah, that's the question I asked you right when you told me about the 4th one. I said, were any of these guys involved with planning the defenses, the strategy for the 6th? You know what I mean? Maybe it's unfounded feelings of guilt over what happened. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, without hearing any words from these people.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because, if their voices and their opinions could probably be of great benefit to society as a whole, it's sort of a shame that they've decided to that they were silenced. I will say that these voices were silenced. It is a shame.
Nothing to see here.
Yep. Not at all.
What we got next?
Speaking more along as a great segue to with nothing to see here, top editor at the New York Times instructed Time staffers not to investigate the origins of COVID-19. 2 employers confirmed today to Spectator World. Clearly, they have not, Eddie Bravo, looked into it. But still, you're going to trust, these assholes when they regurgitate whatever their science priest spews. But we'll gladly tell you that they have not, in fact, looked into it at all. But believe it. Believe that.
Right? That fucking GIF is hilarious. I love it. That was the perfect response to that fucking tweet. What do you guys think about that, man? The top editor at the New York Times instructing Time staffers to not investigate the origins of COVID-19.
But meanwhile, we'll fact check any fucking story into fucking oblivion and putting out all their fucking their nonsense about fucking evolving in fucking nature. They have no problem with pushing the other fucking narrative. No problem pushing the narrative.
Yeah, I love Eddie Bravo too. He's hilarious. Look into it.
It's all they got to do. It's literally the ball's in your court, press. All you really have to do is look into it.
Right? How do you figure on ever finding out where this thing came from without looking into it?
And I think that it's a macrocosm for the whole left as a whole. How are they so blind? How is all this shit able to go on? Because they're simply not looking into it.
But at the same time, Joe Biden's first 100 days, that's all he did was assign people to look into it. Like everything. 90-day study on this, 90-day study on that, 90 days study on this, you know?
Oh man, that scared me for a second. Did you see that shit? I brought this up and it said this tweet is unavailable for a hot second, and then it fucking popped up. That was frightening. This did you check this out, Blizz?
No, I didn't see this one.
So I tweeted that, you will not whisper sweet nothing such as freedom or liberty. And it's because you will not be able to be close enough to somebody to whisper in their fucking ear.
It identifies human shapes, monitoring how close together they are. Privacy was paramount in this week-long trial, so no one was identified. People are represented as dots on a screen. Their IDs are not recorded. Green means social distancing is being adhered to. Red is a breach. So not only can businesses see when there are breaches, they can also identify spaces within venues where rule breaking takes place, where more signage or physical barriers
be whispering to each other over there.
Looking at possibility of rearranging the areas or putting different furnitures and different things like that, so that it will be possible for them to manage the space a bit better.
Researchers say this technology could have real-world applications, not just at airports, but at shopping centres and other high-density public spaces. Griffith University researchers created...
Well, would you look at that?
Pretty fucking scary use of technology.
Yeah, his BJJ stuff is baller too. Yeah, what is it, 10th Planet? Eddie Bravo's.
Yeah, 10th Planet. Nod to the tablet of the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Go right on back to, what does he call it? Nibiru? Look into it.
Pretty frightening, man, that this shit is absolutely coming to a business fucking near you, and to a totalitarian government near you.
Yeah, who would have thunk that they were gonna start fucking designing AIs for COVID fucking,
to make sure that that we are not near each other,
so
to distance us from one another, to make sure that you have your face covered so that we cannot read each other's facial expressions, so that smile that used to go a long way is now fucking gone and wiped from memory.
Yep, you can't organize
Fear your neighbor
in the public. There is no public organization anymore. Done. Dead. Muted.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, with everything that's going on with the attack on the founding, I guess, like, the tenets of this fucking country. I see this and I wonder, how would a constitutional convention come about with this technology that is about to be fucking unleashed upon us? I mean, just think of how this country was formed. Was people being able to fucking meet and in private, being able to fucking congregate, and being it was all fucking whispers and fucking secrets,
meeting and organizing in
dark corners of bars and shit.
Yep, meat houses or whatever the fuck they called them back then.
But that it seems like it's going to be a lot harder to fucking do that in the future. They're going to ensure that things like liberty and freedom, the American experiment, is never attempted again.
Sure seems that way.
Certainly won't be able to talk about it on YouTube.
You're gonna need the correct paperwork to get into those dark corners of the bars.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and they're only just like prohibition. You know what I'm saying? They are creating their own problems by their overreach.
Who would have thought? Who would have saw that coming? Anyone?
Vegan Society has 5 trustees quit over claim that veganism is cultural appropriation because it was founded by a white British man but uses foods and traditions from Africa and Asia.
Goddamn vegans. Imagine that they wouldn't stop arguing even if it was with each other.
I'm wondering if any Canadian is going to come out and claim basketball and tell everybody that they have to stop playing it because that's the white man's sport.
Cultural appropriation.
I would really love to see LeBron James' response to that one. Put my ball down. Make your own sport.
Right? Dribble bad. Just dribble bad. I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
For sure. But yeah, no, I mean, I had a discussion with somebody at the bar a week ago, and he's an older conservative. He likes to knock millennials quite a bit, which I am a millennial. But I've talked a little bit about my background and shit like that, and I was talking about that I was craving chili relleno, which is a breaded jalapeno stuffed in cheese that you make fucking tacos out of it. And he's like looked at me when I said that, like, because he totally was judging me by the color of my skin, which so often happens. But yeah, I told him I'm fucking cultured. He recommended a place regardless. And I was like, yeah, to me, like, being, not having the family, not having, I was an only child. I was given up, sent to live with fucking state fucking houses and fucking orphanages, shit like that. So, I had no real culture of my own, but, I see the world as my culture, one world, one culture, that, I'm able to, I guess also helping, like, living in a large fucking city where we have access to fucking all sorts of food, all sorts of fucking people. This truly is, this is the way of the fucking future. You know what I'm saying? That all this segregation and fucking bullshit is
shit's for the
it's
birds.
just impeding our fucking progress. Exactly. It's just fucking ego driven fucking nonsense.
And I mean, honestly, it seemed like we were making headway, man. We were taking steps forward, and then it's just like we need to artificially create these divisions again, and boom, just like that,
Yeah, and then 10 hours ago, there's in the middle of the night, the reports that this got the fourth one was announced, but he passed on July 10th. So this information's been sat on for quite a bit. Which is all the more interesting.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. It makes it even more interesting that this was now, going on a month ago. It's interesting.
So a man and an officer were shot outside the Pentagon today. And the first thing that popped into my head when I saw this is they still haven't gotten any cameras outside the fucking Pentagon. Why is that? Why do we still have technology's advanced so fucking far since 2001? Why do we still not have adequate video of the fucking Pentagon?
Right? This is probably, like one of over 100 different videos they have of this actual area that they're just not using. You know what I mean? Just like always. I don't believe that this is the only camera that's available.
Not at all. But it does. That angle seems awfully fucking familiar, doesn't it? Like the whole thing just seems like fucking deja vu for me. Where's the hole? Oh, that's right. We're past that now. We're past that. They filled it in.
Right? Sweet Leaf says Mexican food for one and all. Going back to your other story.
And not just that though, man. We fucks with the Chinese as well, man.
Oh yeah, everything.
Big fans of the orange chicken over here.
I try to explain that to people. Me and my buddy Crunch Lord argue all the time. He says Chicago pizza is garbage, and I said that you're not getting it right. You're getting deep dish. Nobody in Chicago eats deep dish pizza. It's all fucking tavern style, thin crust.
Yeah, maybe on events, maybe on events we might fucking get some stuffed. But when Chicagoans order pizza, it's tavern style, thin crust.
Yeah.
Might even do that tonight. Fuck it. CDC says you can sexually harass if you're vaccinated. And CNN's Chris Cuomo will probably endorse that sentiment. Here we have an email from Chris Cuomo on February 8th, 2021 to Andrew Cuomo Inner Circle, his brother, where he drafted a statement for his brother to respond to the allegations. I want to find the video of him reading this.
Yeah, right? I can't seem to dial back in. Is that what it says? Oh, so he couldn't get back on the conference call they were having, so he just emailed him instead. It's great. It's great. Way to go, Chris. It's official. CNN. Is he on a CNN fucking... Well, they probably won't show his actual email address.
Yeah, no, they didn't show it, so it's redacted. Questions have been raised about some of my past interactions with people in the office. I spend most of my life at work, and colleagues are often also personal friends. I never intended to offend anyone to cause any harm. Sometimes I am playful and make jokes. You have seen me do it at briefings hundreds of times. My only desire is to add some levity and banter to what is a very serious business. I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in ways I never intended. I am sorry and deeply embarrassed about that. Separately, my office has heard anecdotally that some people have reached out to Ms. Bennett to express displeasure about her coming forward. My message to anyone doing that is you have misjudged what matters to me in my administration. You should stop now, period. Even though today Cuomo said out of his own mouth, the Andrew Cuomo, the sexual predator Cuomo, said that these claims discredit real sexual abuse victims. I really can't wait to see him fall after making that one.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
We'll get more into Cuomo in a second. This is a little snippet of the infrastructure bill, and there is a on page 508 of the 2,700-page infrastructure bill. There is a pilot program for a national motor vehicle per mile tax. It's coming.
They're going to tax per mile.
Per mile. This is something that old JB Pritzker was pushing here.
Yeah, I remember.
It's like I realized how well connected he is to the fucking machine, because the shit that he was talking about doing, before Biden in office, is now completely lining up with this fucking progressive agenda.
Yeah, so, it seems like they pilot the program here and get people talking about it to see what the reactions are going to be. And then they move it straight to DC.
The plan is for only the elite to be able to drive. The rest of us are going to be stuck. And as soon as they get enough people in here, I'm sure we'll see the reconstruction of the wall go back up and have our asses trapped right where the fuck we are.
Right.
Green New Deal, no planes.
Fucking Ron Paul was right. Walls aren't necessarily built to keep people out.
Yep.
Sometimes they're built to keep you in.
He really opened my eyes with that one. Way back, I remember him saying that shit.
Yeah, right. Sharon's here says electric cars don't pay gas tax.
Yeah, but here in Illinois, they fucking have a huge fucking tax on your registration.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying the gas tax. It's not like, oh, hey, you get out. Now you have and even if you there's a tax on using public charging stations. Even if you don't use them, you just have to pay it because you have an electric car and you have access to them.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
There's no way you're avoiding fees in Chicago. That's pro tip. Don't plan on it. You know what I mean? It's almost as bad as California, where they hit you with a fucking tax for moving out of California.
Thanks for the follow, Hardwood.
Right. Thanks for the follow, Hardwood and Sock. Welcome to the stream, bud.
So here we have So yeah, it was the I guess the mayor of New York that did. I was wondering if Cuomo ended up putting this mandate in. So it was the mayor. It was just New York City, not the whole state of New York.
De Blasio. Yeah.
But announcing that 69% of blacks, 58% of Latinos, and the majority of Bronx residents are ineligible to eat in a restaurant or go to the gym because they are unvaccinated.
Yeah, this is an angle that I think a lot of people have been missing this entire fucking time. It's like, yeah, the numbers are disproportionate. Like, yeah, the numbers, in overall numbers, there's more white people in America. So it could very well be that white Republican districts are lacking behind more than anybody else. But let's look at just the POC populations and look at how these disproportionately affect communities of color.
Oh wow. We're starting to see the calls to resign. Pelosi and Biden just called for Cuomo to resign.
Ooh, that's huge. That
so is Schumer.
That's the leaders of all three houses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Both houses of Congress and the chief executive demanding resignation. Thanks, Cuomo. We appreciate all the hard work you put in over the last 18 months doing your daily briefs and writing your books and collecting Emmys, but your usefulness has run out.
Alex Salvi just tweeted something too, that AOC and Cori Bush just forced the hand of the Biden White House via social media. What, did Biden act on the fucking eviction?
Biden can't. The Supreme Court said that it can't come from the executive. It has to come from Congress. So even if he did, it's just going to get shut down again.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck what he's hinting at here.
Hardwood and Socks said, thank God they finally got Cuomo on something. Yeah, it's too bad it wasn't for killing all the grandmas in New York.
It's only because this came out today. Otherwise, they would have tried to keep it going.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. Wooden Sock, how the DOJ refused to investigate the nursing home fucking conspiracy, I guess.
That's funny. Right on cue that I saw that Biden calls for it, because I was so totally going to put his ass on blast.
Run that shit.
I had it geared up.
Yes. Let me ask you about Governor Cuomo of New York. I know you said you want the investigation to continue. If the investigation confirms the claims of the women, should he resign?
Yes, I think he probably end up being prosecuted too. Yes.
Let me ask you about Governor Cuomo of New York.
You took it a step further, old Joe. Oh, seems like your mouth got you in trouble again. Oh, they're going to be angry at me if I don't get out of here. That's why. To participate in society, you must take this vaccine. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the way they're trying to push it.
Beware the pedestals. Beware the fucking people that they fucking thrust up there looking at you, Fauci.
Right? You remember when Trevor Noah and all the late night guys were talking about Cuomo running for president?
Hey,
remember that? Anybody
Trevor Noah. That? Let's see what else Trevor Noah had to say.
The one governor who's crushing it the most right now is Andrew Cuomo. Yes. Thanks to his handling, his approval rating has soared to a 7-year high. And he's even becoming something of a crush for many people. Yeah, people online are falling in love with him. I'm not gonna lie, those people include me. My Tinder profile now lists me as a Cuomosexual.
The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, new tonight at 11.
Aged fucking wonderfully.
Oh man, you can't write this shit. Like, you couldn't make this shit up. The shit that these fucking dumb lefties do sometimes, man.
Cuomo could molest Trevor Noah anytime, apparently. Because he just
right. I wonder if any of these allegations happened after this Trevor Noah commercial. Like Trevor maybe Noah Trevor Noah got to his head.
Yeah. Gassed him up.
Right? I could do anything. I'm on his Tinder profile. Wooden Sock says he's kind of like Trump, though. I doubt he will resign. It's rough, man, when you got the president, the Senate majority leader, and the Speaker of the House all saying you should resign. If Democrats refuse to make him step down, then this is a big L for Team Blue. They have to.
Yeah, for sure.
And now I would play that.
that.
Yeah, I'd play that Biden clip all day, every day. Put that shit in Times Square. Not just resign, but probably prosecuted. Like, get it?
They did, but they're also, by doing this, by him being the fall guy for this, they're completely sweeping the Cuomo side under the rug. So he's sort of getting a fucking break. But I guess it was too big to fucking hide.
Right?
It was too much.
I mean, doesn't that just raise more questions? If this guy wasn't trustworthy enough to not sexually harass people and sexually assault people in his presence, do you think he'd be telling the truth about anything? You know what I mean? It should open more doors for investigation as far as I'm fucking concerned.
I wish I didn't have to work tonight so we could go live in the Discord during prime time with Cuomo tonight.
Yeah, during Chris Cuomo's hour tonight. It's going to be, I'm telling you, it's going to be must-watch TV. I'm going to set the reminder right now.
The band Offspring has fired his drummer for refusing to take the COVID vaccine. So very punk rock.
The Offspring. I hope he owns the name to the band. That'd be great.
It's rough, man. It's rough how quick people will turn on their partners, their friends, you know. Probably really tight-knit fucking relationships, you know, not so fucking long ago. And just zero fucking fucks at a moment's notice.
Right? And I wonder how much the sixth plays into all of this, you know what I mean, with the fucking report your neighbor campaign that the FBI had when New York makes it illegal to be in restaurants without masks. I wonder how easy it's going to be for people to call on their fucking
lucky
members
Australian.
of their community.
Why are they suddenly turning on Cuomo? Good God. I wonder if they're going to take his Emmy away.
Right? He's probably going to have to fucking pawn that Emmy for fucking legal representation.
That's probably the most polished Emmy that they gave out last year. I bet you that thing was polished every day by one of his aides.
Right? You could probably pick which one too if you had a lineup. You know, the Emmys on a breaking news.
Due to the new Delta variant, California will be mailing in ballots for the recall election. Yes.
Oh man, it don't matter. I mean, they're definitely gonna elect a fucking Democrat, I'd imagine. Larry Elder should probably win, but I doubt it. You know, same state that elected Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So yeah, Salvi was correct. President Biden is expected to announce a new federal eviction moratorium to replace the one that expired on Sunday, targeting counties with elevated rates of coronavirus infections. It's expected to cover 90% of renters' population.
Targeting communities, though, huh? Yeah, that's not going to hold up, dude.
Interesting. The occupying the Capitol fucking works.
Wish
somebody would have came up with it sooner. Wish Matt Walsh would have took that one.
Right? Fucking Matt Walsh. It's going to face legal issues and probably fail. He said as much. Biden said that when. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said that the executive branch doesn't have the authority to do this. It would have to be Congress, which is why it's such a joke when you hear Nancy Pelosi ask Joe Biden to do something about it. It's like, no, it's your job. Like the Supreme Court said, You are responsible, but you're on summer break now, right? So you're not gonna fucking cut your vacation short. Oh, he gave the speech already? He said, yeah, he did during the Q&A after his speech today. So he already said that it's going to face legal issues and probably fail. So it's just an empty gesture. Can't do shit when the house is on summer vacation. You know what I'm saying? That's why Cori Bush was sleeping on the steps of Congress. To protest her colleagues leaving town, apparently. Democrats are doing a bang-up job, aren't they, people? Is everybody happy? Everybody out there happy? You're getting what you paid for, you know what I'm saying? You're getting what we paid for, I should say.
Scientific journal papers suggest making it a federal hate crime to criticize Fauci.
Oh man, you can't discriminate. You can't discriminate against Fauci's. Is that what I'm hearing?
Him. Cannot criticize Fauci.
Faucism. Are you a Fauci or are you an anti-Fauci?
It's crazy. These fucking identity politics.
Right? Isn't it, Hardwood Sock? He says it's comical. Oh my God, we didn't know this was going to be an issue. Dems 2021. We didn't think that this was going to happen. What, you didn't think that the Democrats were just going to blame Trump for everything and not do their job?
Vote for me. I have a plan.
It's just an extenuation.
I have no plan.
The last 4 years of Democrats. Now they have ultimate power and don't do a goddamn thing. Like, I was critical of Trump for not doing the wall when he had complete control over both houses of Congress. You know what I mean? But geez, all they're doing is fucking investigating, 90-day investigation into fucking equity in federal agencies while American people are fucking crumbling. Soon to be homeless. 26 states have already ended their unemployment benefits. It's going to be rough when the next lockdown comes, which is coming. People keep telling me it's not coming. Fauci said that there's no need to lock down. Oh, yeah? Oh, Fauci said, did he? Okay. Let me just cross that one off the list then. Exactly. It's the Republicans' fault. Continue to have power in all three aspects of government. Exactly. That's the whole fucking issue. It's Trump's fault. Trump did this. He cut the funding. No, we're just stuck with no funding. Sorry. Like throw up your shoulder emoji.
Orange man gone.
Right? Orange man gone. Get over your fucking selves. And then they have the balls to say that the Republicans are the ones that started the defund movement. Did you see that bullshit? That Jen Psaki said that defund the police was a Republican idea. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, those are the boys that were militarizing them. I don't think you got your facts straight, Jen. Right. It's the Republicans that gave him all the 9/11 weapons of war.
All the surplus fucking armored vehicles, you know what I mean? That's what we did for the police. We knew that their job sucked and they needed protection. They're just like, blue line bad. All right, yeah, let's just get rid of cops in Chicago. That's the problem, is that there's just too many cops. People will stop, committing crimes if it's just not a crime anymore. So let's just make it not a crime. The real problem is people not being able to afford bail. That's why there's so many murders in Chicago.
Yeah, well, they're solving that shit.
Right. Yeah, and they didn't raise the debt ceiling either. So right now the US Treasury is paying the fucking government's bills. Yeah, we're like on the precipice of a real fucking crisis for the American people, not for the political class or the, you know, the millionaires and the billionaires, but the regular American Joe is facing a real crisis. Fucking
Toilet
inflation,
paper shortage part 2.
right? Maybe we should just start buying Charmin right now because we know that like next lockdown is coming and everybody knows that shit's like gold. You know what I'm saying? Newports and Charmin. That's going to be the foundation of our next economic system.
That's going to be the currency of Garbage Island.
Yep. I'm serious. Just tell us where the unvaccinated ghetto is going to be, and we'll just start. You know, get a head start. I want to get there early. Stake out my corner lot. Garbage Island seems like a fantastic place to start over.
Yeah, it does. It does. Doing some good at the same time.
Everything will have to be made out of bamboo. Going green, you know what I mean? We could just paddle to wherever's, you know,
there's
a hospitable climate.
Make some paste out of like clay and hay to stick the garbage clumps together and to make a nice firm ground. It'll be wonderful. Be just fine.
Right? Yeah, we figured it out early, like an hour into the stream. Wooden sock. We're just gonna stake out Garbage Island. That's gonna be the unvaccinated ghetto.
So we were showing that there's that 7% of Garbage Island is now masks because of these careless idiots, these wasteful consumers,
wasteful fucking green tree hugging hippies.
And then it hit me. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We solve this huge mass of trash in the ocean at the same time. We give the unvaccinated people their reservation.
And not just that, but the disposable masks, they say biodegrade. It takes twice as long to biodegrade the masks as it does an aluminum pop can. So we'll be fine. I think it said 550 years. We're golden. Florida, Texas, South Dakota, places to go. Yeah, who knew Florida Man was going to be the hero that we were all looking for? Yeah, I did hear that. Charlie Kirk and Vaush are debating tonight on Tim Pool too, right? Is today the 3rd? Yeah, it's the 3rd on Tim Pool tonight. They're both fucking super grifters, so it should be a shit show, but I'm definitely going to watch it. That was before this Cuomo stuff came out. I think the Chris Cuomo hour on CNN is must-watch TV tonight. I'm going to see if he mentions it at all, or if they send him a memo that says you're not allowed to talk about it.
So the CDC issues eviction order in areas of substantial and high transmission. It expires October 3rd. So another 2 months I'm not paying rent.
Only for the high transmission
in time for
areas?
winter. Yeah, just in time for winter. They're not evicting anybody in the winter. So it's gonna be a whole nother fucking year. Might just go try to find an apartment right now, just so just have a spot to do some, just make it a fucking party house and fucking profit for the next fucking year. We
should open a trap house and not even do anything illegal. Just have like fucking dance
do
parties.
Our show there. Rent free.
Right? The only thing we're doing illegal is fucking freely gathering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Congregating unmasked and unvaxxed and criticizing Fauci.
It'd be the most lit fucking club in Chicago. Yeah, when we were talking about our unvaxxed reservation on Garbage Island, Wooden Sock, we said that we definitely have illegal immigrants. There'd be vaxxed people trying to escape the fucking clown world that they created, trying to come to us.
Man, these motherfuckers are just sitting in hammocks on a fucking garbage patch.
Living their best lives.
Well, man, it looks like the streets are paved in gold over there.
Yeah, that's great. It's gonna be epic. I can't wait.
It'll be everything that the Chaz was supposed to be.
Without the shitty garden and murder. Oh, Chaz, I miss you. It was so interesting. So much to see when the Chaz was still a thing.
Yeah, no. They can't hire any cops. It's nuts. It's nuts, man. I don't know how anybody's still hanging out in Portland. Or is it Seattle as well too? Is it Portland doesn't have the SWAT team. Seattle
I think they said 250 officers down in Seattle since the Chaz started, or since the whole summer of love started. That's a good point Hardwind Sock brings up here. He says, I think the unvaccinated island will be more diverse than the vaccinated land. For sure, we'd have 60%, what was it? 48% of blacks, 60% of Latinos.
Let's get it.
Right?
All right. Let's get it.
One nation, one culture. Garbage Islandian. We're on to something here, Ed. We need to make an animated fucking short, like a cartoon. Be hilarious.
Yeah, definitely have to come up with a logo and a slogan for the Garbage Island unvaccinated reservation. I'm gonna have to come up with something. Yeah, I have to get that going in the Discord. What should we name the island?
Here, I'll throw up a link to the Discord in my chat again.
Let's see. I think I can do that.
Wooden Sock said the flag should be a bunch of used masks sewn together. Right? It'd be like instead of ground, instead of like standing on the earth, it'd just be like a net of masks underneath someone's feet.
Yeah, a mask grid, like like the earth. They have it like make it a grid of masks.
We have your plot here. We have you sectioned off into section B3. It's the red mask in the left. This is workable. What else is going on out there? What else are people talking about in Twitch politics lately? Is it all still just trans rights and sports? I know that the trans weightlifter did horrible yesterday. She failed on all 3 attempts.
The whole woke Olympics have pretty much been a fucking flop. Nobody's really watching. I used to watch a lot of Olympics, and I just haven't cared.
I actually used to watch a lot of Olympics too, all the time, going back as far as I could actually remember. But this year I'm watching a little bit, just like the interesting things. Like I was just watching boxing when the podcast just started. But besides that, I've been having the most fun just, looking at memes of the women's national soccer team.
I did catch they put in a 3-on-3 basketball, like you're playing fucking 2K, and it was really fucking cool. I liked that. We'll watch some of that in the future.
Yeah. Are you old enough to remember slam ball?
Oh yeah, the trampoline shit? Hell yeah.
Yeah, trampoline basketball. One guy I went to high school with actually played on one of the teams. His name was Whitney White.
I think there's a couple spots where you can go do that shit.
Sharon says hashtag Garbage Island or bust.
I think it's the best solution for everybody, because we don't want to be around a lot of these people now because of the way that they fucking act, the way that they speak.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, they clearly don't want a lot of us around. So
Right.
let's clean fucking break.
And we'll be on an island, so the cross infection rate should be super small. We shouldn't have to interact very much. Wooden Sock says transracialism has been a thing recently. What do you think about transracialism, Red? Like people that are biologically born white saying that they're a different race, I'd imagine.
I have not seen any of this.
Rachel Dolezal, remember her? The lady that was the Democratic National Committee chairperson that presented as a black woman for like 15 years.
Is this just another ploy for the blacks trying to steal Eminem from us in the racial draft?
Is that really what it's all about? You guys still just trying to get Eminem? I mean, I don't even think there's really an argument. To me, it's just like, it's not a real thing until it's a real thing. You know what I mean? Once it's a real thing, then it's too late to even talk about it. So who fucking cares? Do whatever you want to do. What about the trans-ableism? Have you seen those fucks yet?
People who are deciding that their limbs don't work?
Yeah, exactly.
So, dude, that's exactly what I was talking about with that them killing ADA. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I was referring to.
Right? Completely gutting the Americans with Disabilities Act.
So not only are they, COVID symptoms, going to fucking completely take up the ADA benefits for fucking a lot of people that need it, but now that I had no idea that trans-ableism was a thing. But at the same time, I guess it always has been. We've all seen those people riding those free carts at Walmart.
Right, the fake homeless guys that make $100,000 a year.
Yeah, I don't think trans-ableism is really new. I think that might have been, it
used to be a felony.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen that one be enforced ever. Plenty of people that just sat down one day and decided to never get back up.
It reminds me of Homer trying to gain weight so he could be fucking deemed disabled. Remember that one where he was like in the Moo
Homer?
Yeah, Moo Homer. Sock said he's been getting into the vaccine talk a lot this past week or so. Yeah, we've been touching on the vaccine talk basically every episode for the last fucking 12 months or so. It's everybody wants to talk about everything when it's fucking 2 days into the fucking vaccine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's only been a vaccine for how long now? And it started at 96% efficacy. Where are we at these days? Anywhere close?
97 days.
Oh, that's great. The Biden whispering meme is gonna never get old. We should start making Biden whispering memes now. Just have him leaning in. Cuomo's gotta go.
To the garbage island you go.
You're making me look bad.
Hey kid, take this mask. Take
it. Right? Every morning we just start the morning with a meme of Joe Biden saying how many days it's been since he's been the president.
I think it's more like celebrating. It's like I didn't die yet. I made it. 223 days.
I successfully woke up this morning. Sock says shit, it's frustrating but also fun because lefties get mad butthurt about not getting vaxxed. Yeah, for sure. I'll go into chat rooms all the time when they're talking about vaccines, and I'll be like, I'm not vaxxed yet. You guys are fucking dumb. Just fire them up and then leave.
You gullible fucking nitwits.
Right? The government said that you have to get another circumcision. It just came out. It's free.
Yeah, no shit.
Right, Sharon? Trump's fault all day. Everything has a shade of orange now.
A taint, an orange taint.
An orange taint. Oh, I love the wordplay on that one. It's like, I highly doubt he gets his spray tan in the nude. Sock said he just did that on his Facebook today to stir the pot. It worked. Oh yeah, it's great, dude. It's great. Because
they don't
instantly
engage me
they
on Facebook anymore.
Yeah. Red tries on Facebook to throw out the troll trap, but nobody bites anymore. He was getting commies for a little bit there. The communist argument is always fun. Yeah, I love doing it because I'm definitely not vaccinated. I'm telling the truth. Like, you're stupid. I'm gonna wait. It's all good. But it's virtue. You know, they seek to amplify their virtue because this is the first time they've ever felt virtuous in their life. They're getting their participation trophy, and they could deny somebody else theirs, and it feels great.
Ties into that Aldous Huxley quote that we read earlier.
Yep.
It's human nature for people to bully, just like that prison experiment.
Yeah, the Stanford prison experiment.
It's society can be very cruel and very egotistical. You know, frightened children seem to take over the minds really swiftly. People get fucking selfish, jealous.
Yep.
Fucking childish.
They learn to believe that fear is a virtue and then seek to amplify that virtue because it's the only virtue that they've ever had. Sweet Leaf's dying. Happy face or laughing, crying emoji. Sock says they don't have responses when you bring up viral load comparisons and threat of mutation in both vaccinated and unvaccinated people.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I got blocked last week from somebody who would not hear any of that.
Yeah, by a prominent sports figure in Chicago, no less.
I haven't seen whether or not at one point I haven't seen whether the Delta variant has infected vaccinated or unvaccinated people. Does anybody have that info? And then at the same time is going to no, just chill out and wait a day or two. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Literally 2 days later, the CDC says that Delta is a threat to vaccinated people as well, so they should wear masks.
I'm only saying what the science is telling me, and there's not a phone at my house that's not plugged in that's ringing, and I'm having conversations with it. This is, I don't mean the science is telling me. I'm reading the facts. This is what the data fucking says.
Yeah, whenever I get into these conversations with Sock, their most common response is that we need to get as many people vaccinated as possible, and that's all fine and well, but it doesn't address anything that you just said. No viral load comparisons, no threat of mutation. They think that in some fucking weird section of their brain, they think that it's possible to vaccinate the entire world. It's like, are you fucking like what part of existence tells you that that's possible?
But meanwhile, the people that are most vulnerable, the ones that all of this is about, will still cannot take that fucking vaccine. So meanwhile, the whole world is fucking vaccinated, and we're still gonna kill off the most vulnerable,
right?
regardless.
Yeah, the most vulnerable population, the 75 plus, the grandmas that everybody was afraid that they were going to kill 12 months ago.
Immunocompromised.
Yeah, they are still underrepresented in the vaccination numbers. Like that's a question that we've been asking the whole time. Why is this? How come the immunocompromised and the most at-risk segments of our population are not being taken care of?
Germany is preparing a new lockdown. There's a leaked internal document that even proposes restrictions that would apply only to unvaccinated citizens. We need a boat, guys.
Yeah.
The resistance needs a vessel.
We need a boat. We got to figure out. We got to do
start scouting on some reconnaissance on our new land.
Exactly.
Stake our claim.
We need to do some scouting on Garbage Island. Get it ready for the influx of people. If they just made it like fucking Florida, you know what I mean? All that unvaccinated are moved to Florida from here on out. That'd be fine. You know what I mean? Give us a peninsula and just let us live our lives. We'll be fine. We're fine with that. You know what I mean? And then we'll secede from the Union and we'll become the unvaccinated states of America and we'll be fine.
It's one little state, but take the unvaccinated states of America. Yeah, what? We're the real United States, you fucking commies.
Right? Guess what? We have healthcare and free school. Yeah, the science is only good when it agrees with what they believe. Exactly. I mean, isn't that what science is for? Have a look at who pays for the studies. I mean, science has always kind of been that way. Let's not talk about the replication crisis in most of these scientific studies. Unreplicatable science, you know, the best kind. Fuck the scientific method. Just let the CDC decide for us. What up, Mr. Wombat? Welcome to the stream, bud. Yeah, I'm going to throw up another link to the Discord if anybody's interested in, having a little extended conversation with us. That's the place to do it. I don't know if you got time today, Red. You want to open it up? Has anybody out there want to jump on panel and bullshit?
I don't have that much time. I gotta grab something to eat and get ready for work in a little bit. But if anybody's ready to jump on immediately and got a good question, let's do it. Got a few minutes.
Open it up. Got a couple people watching between YouTube and Twitch. We got about 9 viewers on my half.
If anybody wants to jump on.
Yeah, at the very least, jump into the Discord if you have any questions or you want to be a part of a future broadcast. We're planning on maybe doing we're planning on opening up our schedule a little bit, maybe doing like another show during the week so that we could have like open panels and open discussions with people. I think that'd probably be the best way to do it.
A show, where it's just BSing separate from the Chords v Plugs. But, way for us to interact, everybody to speak their minds, some shit off their fucking chests,
Right.
Our own little states of the union.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I think one thing that we actually do that not a lot of people do in this fucking community, the politics and, culture community online, is that we try to keep it lighthearted. We try to laugh as much as possible because this world is fucked up, and if you're not laughing, then you're dying. You know what I mean? We try to keep it as lighthearted as possible. Try to have fun with it when we're talking about the most disgusting things that the world can think of.
Most of the best comedians are pretty traumatized souls, and trauma makes you helps you to appreciate laughter and comedy, and You know, you see its worth, and it's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Is, you know, laughter is the fucking best medicine, and it's if we stay fucking positive, you know, it's the only thing that's gonna stop us is us getting in our own fucking way.
Right.
And
We actually mean what Cuomo tried to say in his speech, that adding levity to a serious situation is actually helpful. He was just lying, though. Woodstock says he can't tonight, but will totally come on in the future. Right on. Open invitations. We're going to work on it. We'll probably figure out just like one day a week, pick a day, and then we'll try to do it for at least a couple hours during the week, because we do this show. Lately, we've been doing it on Tuesdays for usually right around 3 hours. Try and open it up a little bit, get a little bit more involved, get a little bit more interaction with the community, I guess, instead of just talking shit. I actually did. I found, remember that one of our first streams, there was somebody named Likely Diamond, and we thought it was likely a buddy of ours that has a similar name. I found that person in a different stream, and it was definitely not our buddy, so I apologized. I was like, yeah, I thought you were someone else. I'm talking mad shit to some random online.
Fucking using a burner account, you bit.
Right? Yeah, Bridget Fetisi. I like Bridget Fetisi a lot. I like I'm a big fan of Michael Malice, so whenever Michael Malice goes on Bridget's shows, I always make sure to watch it. Michael Malice is like my inner Loki, you know what I mean? The inner trickster that I think all of us have, but we don't give enough fucking food to.
Mark Passio is my communist idol. We've all got a communist that we seek for advice and guidance from time to time.
Yeah. Your everyman persona. If you could put yourself in the shoes of everyone, what would be the best outcome? I think everybody needs to have that in them. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, because it is always an option. You know, I'm sure that's as close to anti-government extremism as, you know, as anything that I could say for sure. But, you know, I'll always, you know, talk about solutions and ways to make this shit work. But it's never lost on me that good old anarchy is always an option.
Yeah,
it's probably the last option, but it's there.
Yeah, if all else fails, I could be a character from Mad Max, no problem.
I can live in chaos.
You know what I mean? We would be fine. Some other people, not so much. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be like Tina Turner from Bartertown.
To keep the chaos at bay. I do not want the chaos, but I could more than certainly thrive in it.
Yeah, not just survive, but we could definitely thrive. I think our experience, our perspective, being, you know, close to the streets in a city like Chicago, we're better prepared for chaos than some other people are. You know what I mean? Because it could break out any fucking moment here.
Mm-hmm.
I actually heard about somebody that just got killed over by you in your neighborhood. Somebody was found like in their car or something like that.
Yeah, it's rough. It's definitely getting rough. Spreading out further and further. It will be a good portion of the state pretty fucking soon.
I believe it. It's showing no signs of decreasing. And like we talked about in the last episode, the only thing that I think that would actually have an impact is that to put National Guard on the fucking street corners. But who really wants that? You know what I mean? I'm not looking for more government control. I'm looking for slow this shit down, you know? I don't want a fucking police state, but it's sad that we're getting to the point where that's going to be the most likely answer.
Going to Garbage Island, and if we don't like you, you get voted the fuck off the island.
Right? Make your own garbage island.
Exactly. We're sending your ass to America. No.
Right. We also have third country options for immigration, like they said. Tell the Cuban refugees, you can come for asylum, but you're getting sent to a third country. That's what we're going to base our immigration plan off of. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. We've had a lot of laughs this time. It's been a pretty fun episode.
Thanks, Cuomo.
Appreciate you. New York.
Thanks for playing.
I wonder how
no regrets.
That Alicia Keys song has not aged well since Alicia Keys. Right on, Sock. Appreciate you coming through, bud. And on that note, everybody out there, stay positive.
We are Chords v Plugs. If you're still listening to this broadcast, you are definitely the resistance. Thank you.
And we're out.